Hi, Charles Moman here. Well, today I'm going to show you how to install sound deadening material, and I'm using Kilmat. Thanks for watching. Well, my wife and I have been camping for 3 or 4 years with a small camper, a runaway camper, and we have a 6x8, and I'll show you a picture of it here. And we used to tow with my F-150 truck, and then this past year using a Dodge Grand Caravan. And we found it was kind of hard to keep everything organized, and so I decided on my last trip to Colorado that we would go and trade that truck and look for a Ford Transit, and that's just what we did. Actually, I got it faster than I thought it would. This is a 2018 Ford Transit 250, 148 wheelbase with a medium roof. And I think it's going to be a great vehicle to turn into a nice camper for us. So now when you start a project like this, you have to think in the sequence, in the order of how you do things, because you can't go back. And so one of the first things I knew that I needed to do was sound deadening. Now, not everyone does, but you'll see most people that do van conversions, they use some product, and I contacted Kilmat and asked them if they'd like to be a partner. So they're a partner in my project, and very generously they sent me 4 boxes of the 80 mil sound deadening panels, pads, and so each box can take care of 36 square feet. I would say most people probably use 1 or 2 boxes when they do this, because the rule of thumb, you'll see people saying that you only need to cover about 20-30% of the surface to effectively stop a lot of that resonating you get as you're driving and bouncing along. But it does not hurt to do more, and so Kilmat asked me when they sent me 4 boxes, they just said they wanted me to really go after it. So it's kind of a go big, go home kind of thing. So I'm going to actually be putting 2 layers on the wheel wells, or I've been watching some British fan conversions, they say the wheel arches. 2 layers on that, and a complete layer on the floor, because that's where most of the sound comes from. And then I will be putting it on the walls and strips up in the ceiling, not on the beams up there, those sections. But I'm going to cover as much as I can. I think sound deadening, this kind of product was originally, people were putting it in cars and trucks just for audio sound to make it sound better. And they pull panels off, and the door panels, and put it in. I'm probably not going to go to that extent except for these back doors. I will pop the inserts are on there and put it inside. And so I will get going on this. And so what I've already done is I've cleaned off both wheel arches with some glass cleaner. A lot of us use that to clean. And so I'm going to start applying. And so I'm going to do some of it just with the video at normal speed. And then I'm going to start recording in sections. So this is getting later in the day here. So I think today I'm just going to pretty much get the wheel wells done. And then tomorrow I'll probably just finish it all up and have a time lapse to show you. So here we go. Let's get quiet. That's hard for me. Well, it's really pretty simple. It's got a sticky back, and they suggest that you wear gloves. I've already cleaned the surface, and so I will start putting it on. And some people cut it in strips, and I'm just going to try to put it on in big pieces as I can. And then on Amazon, of course, I found a package of like 5 rollers of various sizes. And so what you want to do, it's got like almost a bubble surface, and once you put it down, then you roll it with a roller and get these all compressed and flat, and then you know that it's been installed properly. And it has to be definitely warm enough. If you're in cooler temperatures, then you might need to, some people heat it up, warm it up, or leave it out in the sun. And the temperature is fine for me right now, so I'm just going to start putting a few pieces on here, and you just keep going. So I'll do that, and probably drop some music in here while I'm doing this, and So there you go. I got one layer on this wheel well, and you know, it's not rocket science. I have to piece in some pieces, and I assure you I'll be going back over every area after I finish with the rollers, just to make sure, because even here I see a couple places I missed, because that's really important that you get it flat down on the surface, because that's what is absorbing the sound. So here's what it sounds like now. We'll compare that to what I did before. Let's do this one that's not been Kilmatted, you might say. It's a new word. This has got a higher pitch, more ringing sound. This is definitely a lower pitch and less, I guess, vibrations, you might say. So I'm going to go ahead and put a second layer here and do 2 layers over here, and then I'll start up front and work my way back. Wow, that's a lot of Kilmat. I don't think I've seen anybody in band conversion do this much, and some of you are going to say it's extreme, but hey, they sent it to me and said go for it. So go big, go home. So 2 layers there, entire floor is covered, and this is where most of the sound comes from. And as I mentioned earlier, most people say 20-30% deadens enough of it. And that may very well be true, and they say it's diminishing returns based on how much you spend and what the benefit would be. But I do know I'm going to benefit from a lot of sound deadening, that's for sure. So I still have much of the walls, not every single inch of the walls, and then a bunch of the ceiling as well that I'll be doing. And then get the windows in and take a drive and see what it sounds like. Now it's still an empty box. Remember, we're not killing sound, but we're deadening the sound so we don't get the tin can driving down the road echoey effect. So it's definitely going to help. That's still a lot of Kilmat. Here's a short audio test. First you'll hear this Ford Transit 250 empty, no Kilmat, and then you'll hear it again on the same route, same place, same speeds, with 4 boxes of Kilmat, 100%, 100%, 2 layers on the wheel wells and on the walls, and see if you can hear the difference. You will. Over a month ago, right after we got the van, I knew I wanted to run a test, and so this was completely empty, not one piece, not an inch of Kilmat, and we drove it, and what did we notice?
It sounded awful. It sounded so loud you could hardly have a conversation.
Because it's not a passenger vehicle. You know, it's intended as a delivery vehicle, and that's what it was used for, but taken care of very well.
The decibel meter in my head was like, wow, this is way, way quieter.
And it's been weeks since we did this, because she thought we had done this test since I put in the Max Air fan. So remember, when you hear the original sound, that's going to be completely empty. And now it's full of Kilmat, ceiling, floor 100%, wheel wells double, and a lot of the walls. But since then, I cut a Max Air fan, a 14-inch hole, a 14-inch square hole there, and just yesterday finished putting in 2 windows. So you're going to
make a little difference, I think.
Yeah, a little difference.
I don't think it'll make a big
I don't either. And they're supported really well. We have wood spacers and things holding things tight, so they're not moving like some people have trouble with that. So let's see what's what, and we'll see how it goes. And thank you for your help.
Sure.
She's a good helper. not saying this is a scientific test. We're going 50 now. Well, there you go. There's my both installation and a review of the Kilmat product. You have many choices out there. There are other brands that are very similar, but I'm really happy with the Kilmat. And again, most people don't do this much. I have seen a few van conversions on YouTube where they've done the floor all 100%, and I think that's a great idea because that's where the sound comes from. And some do cover this. I think Kilmat's suggestion that you do 2 layers on this is a really, really good idea. And so 100%, 100%. What I did on the walls, I covered an awful lot of it. And I even put it in these cavities, even though I'm going to be putting mineral wool in there for insulation, and that will sound deaden as well. But I had the product, and I thought I would use that. So I hope that gives you an idea of how Kilmat works and how to install it. It's easy to install. Hope you learned something, and thanks for watching.